Welcome everyone. I appreciate you joining me on my channel, and I want to ask you, if you're enjoying the content that I present to you, to please press the subscribe and like button. Thanks so much. BTS is probably the very first band in the history of musical bands to actually, through their videos, ask people to come and join them at their meal table. They're asking you to share a meal, to be part of their conversation. That's a very intimate sharing of their lives. Eating together is a significant experience shared by people across all cultures and all traditions. Within our society, food is the basis for all kinds of celebrations, like birthdays, like anniversaries, like graduations, and of course, in the case of BTS, the Festa event that happens on an annual basis. What's really interesting is that when we eat in a communal setting, as in a group or in a family, we tend to experience a lot of positive psychological benefits. Let's check out some of those benefits as we go through this video.
안 먹으면 뭐 이렇게 먹어요. Oh yeah.
야 맛있다. 와 일단 햄이 야.
It's definitely cool hanging out at the meal table with the BTS boys and breaking bread with them, even symbolically. And by the way, the phrase breaking bread comes originally from the biblical scriptures that talk about how Jesus would sit with his disciples and break bread. And in those days, bread was very hard to actually tear apart, so you had to break it. And he would then share it with the rest of his disciples. That's breaking bread.
남자 그거 끝났냐? 치킨데이?
뭐야?
난 저탄 수학을 식사하는데 괜찮아 봐.
그러니까 죽이고
나 스트레스가 너무 받았어.
Sharing a meal has many mental health benefits, and it's more than just sitting together physically with another person. The power of communal eating is that it creates an atmosphere that's warm and open and allows the members to communicate their worries, their problems, their hopes. Whatever's on their mind at the time can be shared safely amongst them. And this serves only to strengthen their bonds even way beyond the mealtime experience.
여기 보세요.
나 이제 V
야 맛있는 냄새 난다.
어떤 게 겨자지? 겨자 뿌려야지. 겨자 많이 뿌려야 돼.
광고 버전 이장.
그거 알죠? 인행진행이라고.
When the BTS members eat together, it encourages attachment and bonding. In fact, research has shown us that when people eat together communally, that they feel more safe, secure, and supported. In fact, there was a study done in 2022 by the American Mental Health Association that found that 91% of families that ate together on a regular basis found significantly less depression and anxiety exhibited amongst their children. eating together solidifies the group bond because sharing food together creates a sense of community and closeness. The individual members are going to feel a sense of security by virtue of being surrounded by the people that love them. And when we share food, we're essentially giving up some of our resources in an effort to get close with that other person. So at the end of the day, eating together creates a sense of belonging.
진짜 맞냐? 너가 이거 먹고 약국 먹었는데?
I find it a real blast to see how many videos are dedicated to the members feeding one another. And they do it frequently throughout their eating videos. Now, whether it's Jimin feeding Jungkook, or whether it's V feeding Jin, or whether it's Jimin feeding J-Hope, they all get involved in feeding the other person experience.
야, 진영! 야! 맛있다. 맛있다, 야.
진짜 먹어.
야, 우리 굉장히 시간이 없는데. 야, 우리 굉장히 시간이 없는데. 맛있냐?
Feeding each other is really a very loving and nurturing act. You think about the development of an infant and you think about the reliance of an infant upon its mother for sustenance. So suckling at the mother's breast from the very beginning is not only a form of giving life to that baby, but it's also establishing a very intimate connection, a very special connection with that person.
해봐.
Each member is basically saying to one another that in feeding them, they're saying, what's mine is yours. And this leads to a really tight connectedness and intimacy between two people when that's done. So it's not about just giving someone food as a way of providing sustenance, but it's also a way of communicating that I'm giving something of myself to you. And that just cements the closeness that can occur between two people.
사람이 밥심으로 일하는 건데 밥은 먹고 일을 해야죠. 맞다.
There are a couple of physiological responses that occur when we eat that really helps in our ability to engage in social bonding. The first is a strictly physical response that occurs when we eat food, and that is our parasympathetic nervous system kicks in when food is ingested. And the parasympathetic nervous system is designed to help calm us. It lowers our heart rate, lowers the blood pressure, all in the service of trying to help us digest. So there's a soothing effect that occurs physiologically by ingesting food.
완전 맛있어요. 소식 가자.
가자.
There's also something that occurs when the human species get together, particularly when we socialize with people that we love or that we're familiar with or that we feel close to. What happens is we release endorphins into our system, which creates a feel-good, pleasurable experience. So it's in our DNA to eat together. It's part of our social evolution. It's important that we connect as people and as a society. And we have a built-in system that makes us feel good and pleasurable when we are with people that we are comfortable and compatible with.
이제 페스타 때 이제 공개되는 이 뭐랄까 이 다락이라고 해야 되나요?
음주도 안 돼요.
방탄다락입니다. 방탄다락. 내가 이제 촬영을 해서 이제 공개를 하려고 모였죠.
사랑해.
오시면 사랑해.
사랑해라는 말은 많이 할수록 좋아요.
맞아요.
저는 먼저 사랑한다는 얘기는 안 하는 것 같아요.
본인한테?
죄송합니다.
Very often you'll see the fellas sitting on the ground while they're eating their meal. And of course, this is a very natural position for many people across the world, across cultures, and across traditions. And in fact, there are several physical health benefits that accrue from eating on the floor. But there's also kind of a subtle, or maybe not so subtle, psychological component to sitting on the floor. When you talk to somebody under normal circumstances, there's typically a height difference. So you're looking up, or maybe you're looking down at the person. But when you're on the floor, essentially what's happening is that those differences are shrunk to the point where, for the most part, you're looking at a fairly equal level of eye contact, or eye level contact. So in a sense then, we're equaling the playing field in terms of communicating to the other person, taking out any physical intimidation or sense of being too inferior because of your size. Eating on the floor, in a sense, can make us more humble and more grounded.
야, 큰일 났다. 야마. 있어? 맛있어 보여? 어때? 후추 너무 많이 뽑았다.
Eating together is not the only way to bond over food. Cooking is an amazing way to connect with people as well. You're not only sharing food, you are working on developing your relationship with that person through whatever communication you're having, understanding a certain flow between you and that other person, working to complement each other's skills and abilities. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. I want to thank you for viewing this video, and I would also be appreciative if you would hit the subscribe and like button. And before I say goodbye, I just want to encourage you all to do as BTS does on a regular basis, and that's to at least engage when you can in some kind of communal or family mealtime. It will serve you well for sure. All right, guys, thank you again. I look forward to sharing more content with you, and wish you guys the best. Peace out.